I'm gonna try my best not to be too dramatic about it, but you know how it is with me. Sometimes the emotion just flows, and I can't really keep it totally under control. We'll see what happens.
PlayStation fanboys are seething about this situation with Helldivers 2. They are upset about the fact that Sony gave in to PC gamers' demand. Now quickly, in case you don't know what happened, Sony tried to force PC gamers that played Helldivers 2 to connect their account to a PSN account. PC gamers got angry, started negatively review bombing the game and mass refunding the game, and after 2 days PlayStation gave in to their demands and you are now no longer required to connect your Steam to a PSN account if you want to play Helldivers 2. And no one is more salty about this whole ordeal than MBG. Now MBG is salty about multiple things. He is salty over the fact that PlayStation bent the knee to PC gamers, but he's also salty over the fact that PlayStation never bends the knee to PlayStation gamers. So he's trying to play this thing very neutral and failing really hard at playing it neutral. So with that being said, I think we should just get right into the clips.
I want to talk about it in a more broad sense. We're going to do that, but I also want to tell you guys how this is making me as a PlayStation 5 player, as a console player, as somebody who supports the PlayStation brand through the console. This has left me with some feelings, and I'm going to try my best not to be too dramatic about it, but you know how it is with me. Sometimes the emotion just flows, and I can't really keep it totally under control. We'll see what happens.
Guys, getting uncontrollably emotional over plastic boxes that play video games is totally normal for an adult man to do, right? That's normal, right? Everybody has those days, right? It's not just MBG. Oh wait, it is just MBG who gets uncontrollably emotional over plastic video game consoles. His words, not mine. I mean, I guess after crying a couple times on stream over video games, you can't really deny how emotional it makes you, but still, dude, fucking pathetic, honestly.
Post. Huge W for gamers. I would say yes, but I would add a caveat to that. Huge W for PC gamers, specifically. This is not a W for console players.
Even after speeding up his video, he still talks so slow. But how is this not a win for all gamers, my guy? Like, genuinely. This shows that if a community in the gaming space bands together and just tells a developer, no, fuck off, we don't want your, like, anti-consumer bullshit here, that works. It can work if everybody, like, gets involved and does their part. I don't understand how this is at all a bad thing. Doesn't this show you console people that you could be doing the same thing? Like, if you don't want to pay $60 a year for internet, stop. If every single fucking one or a significant amount of you people stop doing that and start complaining about it, it might get changed. I don't fucking know. Like, use your goddamn brains, man.
This is not a W for console players. And I'm going to talk to you guys about this because I honestly feel that I think Sony did so much unnecessary damage to their entire player base here. And I'm going to explain to you why.
Yeah, they did damage to their brand by being idiots and making a stupid decision. But come on, man, explain your thoughts. Talk quicker. This is why you can never hit 100k subs and you're forever stuck at 99k. It's because you don't fucking talk. People get bored. They click off the stream. They click off the video. Talk, my guy. Speed it up a little bit.
Yesterday I said, and I'll reiterate, that if it were up to me, I would have not decided to do this with Helldivers 2 because, well, what's quite surprising is that how could somebody at Sony PlayStation, how could you not realize that by doing something like this 3 months after the game has been out in all of these countries where people are playing, how could you just not very clearly see that this is going to create a lot of backlash?
Oh shit, a good opinion from MBG. Has he seen the light? Is he finally developing his third brain cell? He actually made a good point. He said something good. Wow, there's no possible way this is going to take a turn for the worse, right?
So what I would have done in the first place is just, hey, don't do it. But here's where things get hairy, right? If I were to decide to do that, where it's like, listen, this is going to create a lot of backlash. A lot of people are going to be unhappy. We're going to get review bombed. We're going to get shit on all across the internet. People are going to rampage. If I were to make this decision, I would have to realize, like, you can't go back now. Because if you do, you did a full 360 and only hurt yourself in the process.
Yeah, so who saw that one coming, boys? I think everybody. So it's bad, right? MBG says, hey, forcing you to link a PSN account to Helldivers 2 is bad. However, they shouldn't have reversed it, right? What the fuck sense does that make, dude? Hey, this thing PlayStation did was bad, but I don't think they should have, fixed it or listened to feedback. They should have just told PC gamers to get fucked. See, this is the difference, right? This is why they pull this shit on PlayStation all the time. It's because you guys don't fucking do anything about it. Same thing, you say like, oh, how did they not expect the backlash? Because PlayStation expects gamers on PC to be the same as gamers on PlayStation. You guys accepted it when they started charging you for PS Plus. You guys accepted it when they raised the base prices of video games from $60 to $70. You are probably gonna accept it when they raise the price again, because there are rumors of them doing that. PC gamers don't fucking accept that. And they showed very loudly and very clearly to Sony that if they continue to do bullshit like this, they're gonna get hurt. Their games will be review bombed and refunded. But it shouldn't surprise me, the PlayStation fanboy like MBG is saying that this is definitely bad, guys, but you should have just gotten on your knees and sucked Sony's dick, to be honest.
Sony didn't have to do this, but they did. And it's their blood that's in the water. And PC players they know it. They know it. PC players now understand that if we get aggressive enough, if we get mean enough, if we get nasty enough, if we come together enough, Sony will bend.
Yeah, of course, because on PC this happens quite frequently. I mean, not all the time, but when something happens that people are pissed about and people don't like what happened here with Helldivers 2, people will complain. And they will demand change. And that's why there's also a lot of PC gamers who aren't too happy about console gamers and console gaming companies moving to PC, because they're scared that those tactics that console gamers just accept for no reason, like price hikes, will become frequent on PC, and that the console gamers who have moved from console to PC will just accept it without a fight. Which makes me very happy, by the way, that didn't happen with Helldivers 2 and enough people got together to get that shit shut down.
I'm a console player. I have been saying for years, Sony, why do you make me pay for PlayStation Plus to play online games?
And there it is, now he's upset that he has to pay for all these bullshit expenses that PC gamers don't have to pay for, and apparently PC gamers can just change Sony's mind, but when it comes to PlayStation, their own console, Sony will continue to be anti-consumer. It's because you guys allow this shit. It's because when Sony in the first place started charging you for online, you said, okay, that's fine. It's now too late to go back on that. I'm sorry, dude. You should have thought about this when that shit happened. I mean, maybe if you can get enough people together to cancel their fucking PSN and boycott it and complain about it a ton, Sony will do something about it, but I doubt you will be able to do that.
PC players don't have to do anything. They don't have to buy a PlayStation. They don't have to care about the platform. They don't have to pay for PlayStation Plus. But on top of all that now, they don't even have to make a PlayStation Network account. Meanwhile, if I look at that and I say, okay, Sony, why do I have to do all of those things?
Because you swallow whatever Sony gives you. It's kind of your own fault for just putting up with it. I mean, I hope that this shows console gamers that they can also demand change on their own platforms, but I kind of doubt it. Also, obviously, because Sony has a lot more control on their own platform than on the PC. But still.
That's the whole point that I'm trying to make here, is Sony made it clear that they are going to listen, which is I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but they communicated the message. we will listen when you guys throw a tantrum on the PC, marketplace. When you guys get angry and you lose it, we will listen and we will reverse our decisions.
It's not really throwing a tantrum now, is it? Like, I don't really like the way MBG said it. It's like, oh, it's a good thing Sony listened to their tantrum. The tantrum they threw. We didn't throw a tantrum. We had valid complaints and criticisms of Sony and made that known by hitting Sony where it hurts, which are their review scores and, their wallet. I get it, MBG, you're salty. You're jealous that this shit doesn't happen on the console platform. That despite the fact that you've devoted years of your life to sucking Sony's dick, they still fuck you over. While the people who don't care about Sony at all get whatever they want because they tell Sony to fuck off. But that's exactly why we get what we want. We don't care. We will move on to a different game and we will refund and negatively review.
So I just can't help but sit here and think, well, Sony, if you're willing to do that for PC players, again, people who do not care about your platform or your console, people who actively decide not to buy your products unless you bring it to them, you're willing to bend your own rules that you made for them because you can't deal with the heat. It makes me think, you know what? Maybe I should do the same thing. Maybe we should do the same thing.
It's kind of funny how mad he gets. It's like, oh, why don't we just do the same thing? Why don't we just do the same thing? Yeah, like, you should do the same thing. But at the same time, in this video, or in this live stream, I guess, you're constantly talking about how this is bad for Sony, and it's not good for Sony, because now we can do the same thing. Who the fuck gives a shit about Sony? Why are you still dick riding Sony? Fuck Sony, dude. Do your thing. Boycott. Demand change. Maybe you'll get it. Maybe you'll stop being so fucking emotional about video games. And maybe you'll stop fucking sucking Sony's dick every second and putting up with all their bullshit. I promise you, dude, you'll be way less salty, way less angry, far happier. But with that being said, boys, I think this is the end of the video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.